Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel if you have been here before. Please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell button if you haven't done that already to get alerts every time I upload new content. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That would make me very, very happy. Today's video is a kind of brief get ready with me using this book. It's called Retro Makeup Techniques for Applying Vintage Look by Lauren Reynolds. And I'm going to do the Lulu look today. Lulu is inspired by Louise Brooks. She was a silent film star and had a bob, which makes it look a little bit more like her when I'm wearing it, I guess, because I kind of have that haircut. But she's inspired a lot in me. She was smart and driven, and a woman may be born ahead of her time. So this is not a step-by-step tutorial. The things that are the most apparent are my eyebrows and my lips, I think, are the two things that are the most, and my eyeliner. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, please keep watching. All right, I already have foundation and concealer on, and I'm going to go in with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot on my eyelids just to remove some of my perceived discoloration. Sure, I'm the only one that sees it. I think it's pretty dark. And let this sit for a little while I put on my brows. And that's going to be the most substantial thing. My eyebrows are pretty arched. Okay, so the first thing that this talks about is brushing the eyebrow to the side and flattening with eyebrow gel. But actually the first thing I'm going to do is apply some concealer to kind of get rid of this area over here. Not going to use wax or anything else. It's just going to show the appearance of not having eyebrows over there. So I'm going in with my Collection 2000, I guess it's just Collection now, Lasting Perfection Concealer. And this is in One Fair. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit during this process. So I'll do one brow with you and one brow off camera. What I'm trying to do, because I have a natural arch that goes up and then down, I'm going to try to just cover up part of this so it's not quite as dramatic, and then I'm going to try to achieve more of a straight brow. So I'm putting on this concealer, and I'm stopping a little bit before my iris begins, and putting a lot of concealer on. And then I've experimented with using a makeup sponge and with using a brush, and I found that using a brush is better. So I'm just gonna pat this and I'm gonna need to do this a couple times. You can kind of see that the brows are coming through, but they are getting covered up a little bit. So I'm gonna just keep going through and do this again and again. Go through one more time. And this is not going to be perfect. This is just to give me the illusion of not having quite as much of a traditional arch that goes up at your pupil and then comes down. That's probably as good as it's going to be. What I am going to do is take a little more of my foundation and just blend it, because the concealer is considerably lighter. I could have gone with a darker concealer, I suppose. But here we are. I'm going to zoom you out. Actually looks better further away, obviously. I'm going to blend this a little bit more. And I'll have my bangs down because that's just naturally how my bangs are. So it will probably shadow this a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit more on, just a little bit. And actually what I'm doing here is just brush strokes. Even though there's a doe foot, trying to not get as much concealer on here. And I'm just going to tap with my finger. I don't want to move it around too much and have to redo my foundation again. Okay, that's probably as good as it's going to get. That's totally fine. I was never trying to actually look like I didn't have eyebrows. I'll do the other side and I'll come right back. Okay, I think that's as close as I'm going to get. It does look a little severe, but I guess that's the point. So then, actually the first step is about, which I skipped, is about brushing your eyebrows aside to flatten their appearance and use eyebrow gel to thicken and darken the hair. Obviously they weren't using what I'm going to use. I'm using an Anastasia spoolie. And usually what I do is I go up on the front part of my eyebrow and then down. And here I'm just going up and then kind of straight. So I'm going to bring everything up, but then I'm going to bring everything kind of straight. Actually, I don't want to go up at all. I guess I do just want to go straight. And then I'll do the same on the other side. And even though I'm going to use my Glossier Boy Brow, Louise Brooks would not have been using Glossier Boy Brow, but it is the eyebrow gel that I have. This is black, not brown. And it's interesting because step 1 is using gel. Step 2 is getting rid of this situation over here, and step 3 is darkening them. So I'm going out of order, but that's just me. And I'm going to take the tip. Sometimes there's a little tip of gel on the end there. All right, and I'm trying to go as straight as possible and just ignore the fact that I have that extra part of my brow that I've concealed. Definitely different from my regular brows. I'll speed you through my other brow. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in again with my Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown to fill them in, and then it says, fill in below the arch to flatten the eyebrow appearance and draw the eyebrow straight out at the corner. So, do this eyebrow first. And so part of it is me just kind of filling in for color, but the other part of it is I still do have a significant arch up here. And I'm going to fill it in on the bottom. This is so not normally how I do my brows. It's really interesting. My brows are not very full. They were when I was young, but they haven't been for a long time. I know that I mentioned before that I didn't discover tweezers until college, which is a little bit shocking. Pictures of me in high school are very interesting. I will then, looks like I'm drawing my eyebrow out straight at the corner. So, very different for me. Can still see my brow a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just trying to ignore it. I will speed you through the other one. All right, brows are done as much as they're going to be done. I still would like to cover up my natural brows a little bit more, but that's totally okay. Next step is eyeliner. So for this, it says with a black eyeliner, draw a fine line around the entire eye. The point at the outer corner of the eye should come straight out. So, kind of like a little winglet, itty bitty tiny wing. I'm using my Scandalize waterproof Rimmel pencil in 01 black. I'm not used to wearing eyeliner all around my eyes. Oh, and wow, even into the, like all around your eyes. So, here we go. I don't know what kind of, it's interesting, I do have a really good book about Max Factor. I'll actually leave, it's out of print, but I'll leave a link to it into the description box down below if I can. But it's an interesting book because part of it is obviously about makeup, but another part of it is about Hollywood makeup and makeup that he created for specific needs. So I'm thinking, I mean, it's 2017 and I have Rimmel Scandalized and this is pretty waterproof. And the lights that they were working under back then in film were really bright. And I just wonder what kind of makeup they had that, I know there were a lot of things that they did because of the lights to make things kind of stay on longer. It's a really interesting book. There's a whole thing in there about body makeup, Esther Williams body makeup that they had to use underwater, all of that stuff. There's also a thing in that book about, what is his name? I can't think of his name. I'll put it on the screen. The dog from Our Gang, the pit bull with the monocle, kind of like the black around one of his eyes. That was makeup. They often use different dogs, but they always put that same black circle around his eye, so it always looked like it was the same dog. All right, I will speed you through my other eye. I'm gonna add a little more color to this eye. And I am going to, you shouldn't do this, and I don't do it very often, but I am going to pull my lid a little bit just to lay down color. I know that if I used pencil all the time, I would figure out a way to not do that. I just probably use a pencil once, well, I have used it recently, but maybe once a year, so I don't feel as bad about that. Okay. I think my liner is pretty much done. Now I'm going to soften the lines, and I'm going to use the Real Techniques Real Techniques smudge brush to do this. And I will speed you through this because you don't need to see me do this in much detail. Okay, and then finally I'm going to go in and do my lips. And actually, before I do my lips, I am going to conceal them a little bit. Taking more of the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection concealer. And I'm going to use my, that's fabulous. I'm going to use my foundation brush too. And I'm going to take a little more of my foundation and put it around just the outside and blend that in because it does look really, really white. There and there. Okay. I'm done. Thanks for watching. I gotcha. Okay. Going to line first, and to line I'm going to use my NYX lip liner pencil in 844 Deep Red. Okay, so this is what the instructions say about lips. The cupid's bow of the upper lip is well defined into points with an even drop from the peak of the points to the outer corners of the mouth as opposed to a droop or a wide round descent. So sometimes the cupid's bow will, especially from this era, is almost like your lips are just kind of in the middle. It's not like a natural lip. This is actually more natural. This is what the picture is here. Let's see how close I can get. I'm going to speed you through this, not quite as quickly as I normally do, but because I can't be talking while I'm doing this. And there's a really talkative dove outside that I'm not sure if you can hear or not, but so I'll do this. And I'll actually zoom you in while I do. Okay, that's liner. Then for lipstick, I'm going to use my ColourPop Lippie Stick in Dahlia. And I'll clean up with a little more liner. Okay, and this is the finished look. There are no details about using mascara or powder or any color on my face, so I'm just gonna let this be like this. I probably have an advantage over a lot of people because I can just take my hair down and kind of look a little bit like her, despite of the fact that nobody knows who she is. But maybe if one of you is watching this and wants to learn a little bit more about her, you'll watch a movie or learn more about her, and that would be great. If one person out there learns a little bit about Louise Brooks that they didn't know about before because of watching this, then that's awesome. So thanks so much for watching. There's a lot to do out on YouTube and in the world, and I really appreciate that you took some time to spend with me today. Please subscribe if you haven't yet already. Hit the bell button to get alerts if you haven't yet done that, so you can get an alert every time I update something new. And hit the like button if you liked it. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you here soon. Take care.